If there's one adage I've said many, many times when it comes to our illusions, it's pack small, play big. I love the same concept when it comes to board gaming. So when we're talking about packing small, playing big, I love full-fledged games in small boxes that can travel with us. Hopefully they don't eat up a ton of table space, but still give this same big, epic feel of a full-size game, but in a much tinier package. So today we're looking at Multiuniversum. Now, question of the day, what is your favorite small box game that packs a big punch? I've probably asked this question elsewhere, but I'd still like to hear an updated version. What's your favorite small box game that packs a big punch? Today we're looking at Multiuniversum from Gray Fox Games. Let's take a look how it plays, what kind of a tiny game it is, and how it plays big right now. So this is Multiuniversum. Let's see what's in this box from Gray Fox Games and Boards and Dice. Just like that. There's some cards and a few meeples, which are nicely done, by the way. They're little scientist meeples. They get a little nice beaker, Erlenmeyer flask, whatever it's called. We all learned this from Breaking Bad. But inside of here are different types of cards, and the artwork is very pretty in this game. I actually like the whimsical art of the backs here. You know, these kind of cool symbols, but actually whimsy is the wrong word. It's more like just nice sci-fi art. Reminds me of Anachronist, you know, a little bit of Jodorowsky Dune. You know, you see a lot of just really cool looking, just weird sci-fi scapes that don't have any theme or anything like that on purpose. It's like you look into this and you go, what is happening in that world? That's definitely an evil Lego person back there. Check that out. Oh, that's some mean-looking, gremlin-looking dudes. Look at that. Army of the Dead. Ghost Army. That's definitely Aragorn right back there. About to go talk this guy to join in their fight. Nice little were-rats. Gummy bears. Oh, my gosh. Okay. The art in this game is fantastic. This is just some crazy-looking stuff. So, just for the art alone, this game's a win, man. I'm telling you what, that's beautiful. But the back here is just all the different multi-universes you're going to, multiverses that you're going to. These are the action cards here, and I'll explain what these do. But basically, you'll get a hand of 3 of these. You'll get 3 actions on your turn. You can either use them for the tool side here, or you can use them for the action side here. Let me set the board up, and I'll show you what that means. So, a set number of the universe cards go out around the different action spaces here. Yours, your meeple starts in the color that it starts with, so blue would start on blue, not necessarily. But you also have a card here which shows you what you're putting things. So this would be the closed gate side, and this would be the tool side. So on your turn, you have 3 actions. What you can do is you can take the cards in your hand, you can scrap it for another card. So one of the actions, you could be put this in the discard pile and take a new card, or you can, I believe these are 2 stuck together, I thought so. You can use it as a tool, which means you'll tuck it under this side to show that you have that tool showing, or you can tuck it under this side, or you can just discard it to use the action of the location you're standing on. So we are standing on the blue transmitter, which means we're looking at number 4, which is any of these blue actions. So if I wanted to play this card, I wouldn't look at any of these except the color I'm on. So you have the different actions. These are close a gate or close a portal. You have to have the tools listed to close this portal. For instance, you would need the microscope and that chip symbol. These symbols are all for set collection plus the points they give you at the end of the game, so they might be easier to get. But if you end up with all 3 of these water symbols, it's worth 9 extra points. If you end up with a set of 5, I believe it's 5 symbols, different symbols, that's also worth some additional points, but you can't double count that. You can't count it as part of a set of 3 and a set of the other as well. So you have to kind of do one or the other. As far as the other actions, you've got movement, which means basically you'll just play this. If, for instance, I were to have a blue movement, again, we're dealing with the blue, but if I was here on gray and I played this card for the movement, I could move my character to any other one for the first action. Now that I'm on yellow, I'm looking at the yellow action. So let's say I played that again, which I wouldn't obviously, but I move again. Now I'm on the green actions over here. Green one would be close a portal. So you've got move, close a portal. This would be draw more cards. You can draw a couple extra cards. You can also pull some cards out of the discard pile. You can, yeah, so that's all the main actions, but you also have the transmitter action, so that's also different based on where you are. So number 1 is you draw 3 cards and keep 2. Some of these other ones are basically they'll let you manipulate this deck of cards to where whatever's showing won't be so bad. But when you're ready to close a gate, you'll discard the tools you have under here showing to match this. The game ends when one of these is totally empty. Score points, do combos, all sorts of things as set collection shows. Person with the most points wins.
So that's Multiuniversum. Actually a really neat game. I like anytime a card game elevates what it is, becomes something else, right? So this is an action selection game, a set collection game, but if you see it as just a set collection game, well then you're really missing the point, because I like the action selection based on where you are. So taking those, taking your meeple and being on different colored locations or numbered locations, colorblind helpful, colored locations or numbered locations, and having the action change based on where you are is a really cool idea, because you still have the cards in your hand, and there are ways to mitigate if you have a bad hand. You could potentially trash a card and get a new one as one of your actions, so you're not completely stuck with bad luck like Donald Duck. No one but Donald. Come on, anybody? Really? Anyway, you do have a way around that, so I like the idea that there's ways to mitigate bad hands. I like the idea that the transmitters also do stuff based on where you are, so it's just a nice idea to take a small idea of, you know, set collection and kind of elevate it with that whole action selection thing to where you're trying to get the most points in combo. So well done. Boards and Dice, I think this was called. Boards and Dice and Gray Fox Games. This is a neat little game that's going to stay in the collection, I believe, because it's just, I like the idea of being able to play a solo game, first of all, but also you can play with others, but playing a solo game that still gives you the full experience of playing a game without cheaping up anything on mechanics or anything like that, because it's well done the way they thought this out and the way they put it all together. So good job, Gray Fox Games, Boards and Dice. Multiuniversum is definitely a cool small box game that packs a big punch. So I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to see the rest of our videos on the Dice Tower. There's a link down below to all the other reviews, 200 almost videos we've done here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that sort of stuff at The Latest Retro. And until then, we'll see you.
So much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower